Hello, I'm Chris, this is Gross Models. Welcome to issue 84 of DeAgostini's Build Your Own X-Wing. In this issue, we're going to be doing some yellow stuff, which is why the cover, I don't know why the cover's yellow, it's just coincidence, or maybe they did plan it that way, I really don't know. But as ever, before the building, we're getting on to looking at the magazine itself. We're changing away from B-Wings. We're going to the Imperial Shuttle. I like the Imperial Shuttle. The wing bending, it does something to me. It looks really nice. It's not a big ship, it's not a important ship as things go, but I do like the design of it. I don't like the old design of it. That didn't do anything for me at all. So I'm happy that they changed it. It's a very stubby nosed hull. It is not a very graceful ship, but it does the job. It looks good. I like it. There's enough going on. It looks like it should have like Concorde nose tilting things, but I don't. Does it? I don't think it does. Anywho, Fen Rao, the protector of Concorde Dawn, from Rebels, by the looks of the, yes, by the picture we can see the people from Rebels in it. Cool. Right, this is what I'm doing today, the Torpedo Bay Housing. The parts provided include 4 panels to make up the main body of the Torpedo Bay Housing. Buoy housing. It says buoy housing. I don't mean buoy housing, but another 4 pieces of the cylindrical torpedo sequencing servos. After assembling these, it's time to join the 2 halves of the fuselage framework and fit the cockpit and other central details. That's going to be the big, scary bit. But first of all, we're doing this. So let's get to making the Torpedo Bay housing. To do that, we're going to be taking all of the parts provided, except for the screws. Super glue is optional. According to the maker's instructions. I'm going to try it without super gluing. If I do need to, I do have some glue available. So we've got basically a couple of ends, a couple of sides, and bits of tube. So we're taking the back and left side of the housing. Holding it like that doesn't really help. It must be that way. Yeah, you're covering over the important details there. That is going in there. Is actually quite a good fit, so I don't think we need to worry about glue on this build at all. That's that. Obviously then the same is happening on the other side. It's fitting in there again quite securely. I guess then, yes, the top is going on the top. That's where the top normally goes, except if you turn it over, then it goes on the bottom. Let's line that up with the holes. Harder to do when there's 2 lots of them. There's also a clippy bit down there. Right, it's going to go the other way around. That's why I'm having trouble with that. There we go. That's where the things are going to go on the outside. So, yes, that's quite secure. I'm happy with how that's gone on. So, good to good. Take one of the rods, which have one rough and one smooth end. They do, yes. There's a sort of a filed end there, as you can hopefully just about see. And the other end is just the same all the way around. Fit the smoother end into this hole on the back of the housing. Right, I think that's the back of the housing. It's that way up, and it's going into that hole. Okay, does that, how far in? I'm sure it will say over the page in the next picture. It says fit the end of the rod into the hole in the front of the housing. Press the rough end firmly so it locks in the. Okay, so there's a little indentation there. There you go. It's all gone on almost on its own. That's going in there, and we're just pushing it in. That slightly sort of knurled bit. It's just going to hold that in place. If I get that in the right place, it certainly will. That in the hole. Come on. I feel I may be using tweezers for this. Let's get some tweezers for this. I've already got some prepared. So we've got to get that there while that's in there, and then that will go down. Yeah, that works. Okay, that's done that. Insert the second rod through the next hole in the same way. Oh, and this is going to go on the inside. Yeah, that's okay. So the knurled bit, that end. This is going in that end. That's going into that hole in there, like that. And good. In place like that. Cool. Do the same with the other 2. Yes, so that end. That'll go down there. That one into there. Push. Cool. It's easy when you know what you're doing. That end in there. Take that in that hole and push it down. There we go. Cool. Happy with that. Right, then we're taking these bits and making servo fronts with the holes. So we've got a big hole and a little hole, a big pin and a little pin. Get them the right way round and it will go together like that. Snap. There we go. That was a good snap. That wasn't a bad snap. Do this with the other one. Yeah. Big hole, little hole. Lined up, push together and snap. Now these have a flat edge here and a flat edge there. So they only go on the one way around. That's that on there. And that's that on there. So that is the Torpedo Bay thing. I assume this is where the torpedoes that we've got are going to sort of fit into there somewhere along the line. And in the canon of the film, sort of arranged and come out through there, probably, maybe. I don't really know. Right, next up, joining the fuselage halves. I shall move the screws out of the way. I'll move this out of the way, and I'll get the entirety of the X-Wing so far, almost, out. So I'll have to stop the video to go and get it. Right, I have everything assembled. It's not quite everything. The very plastic nose cone is not on here as yet. But we're assembling this to this. Now, there's a couple of other housekeeping updates that I've done. I have eventually, finally, taken these off and done some light blocking on them. Basically covered the inside of them with a matte black paint. I didn't bother filming it because it was literally just covering it with paint. It wasn't worth doing an upgrades and modifications video for that. One other thing, this is now going to be bolted to the bottom of this, but as has been pointed out by a couple of other people, this front section was never actually screwed into place. I've been back and checked through the magazine. I think it was issue 65 when we finished building this, and it just said put it in there. It didn't say anything about screwing it in there. But once this is bolted to there, you're not going to be able to screw it in there. Saying that, did I put them in the right screw holes, or did I mess up? I'll check and see. So that's basically all I have done. Are we using those? No, that's right. That's exactly right. So yeah, there's 4 screw holes in the bottom of this which were unused. So I've just put in some I think XW08 screws into those, the ones that are designed for plastic, just to go in there and occupy the space and hold that in place. Should have been done a while back by the looks of it. There's no reason why not, as far as I can tell, so I don't know why we didn't. These wires obviously keep getting a bit loose, but soon we won't have to worry about that. So this has just been moved out of the way for now, as are these wires. Because, as it says in the first step of that, you take it all like this here, and then lay that one side. Done that. Off of the front of the fuselage, back on the fumes on the left side don't trap the wires yet, so that's why I've got the wires going up out of the way. This is going to go on there, a bit like that. So yeah, it says to fit it in using XW01 screws, which conveniently they didn't actually supply. They supplied 08 screws, so I've been back down my part box and got some 01s out. So this is going to go in there, and that side is going to fit in there, and that side is going to fit in there at the same time as the whole thing fits in the middle at the bottom. It's tricky. It's lovely. It's nice, but it's tricky because there's nothing to support this other end of this. You can't push it in from the side. You've got to slide in from the front, and it sort of doesn't want to. Let's pop that out. Then I can, yeah, when it's out, it definitely goes on there, or it starts to. So you've got to do that at the same time with the other one, the other side. Get that back there. That over there we go. That's going in there, and that sort of supports itself a little bit, but obviously not very much, and we do need to put some screws in. So let's get those in there. A little bit of finagling, rummaging, and fitting. That I can tighten up fully. That's all right. I don't mind doing that. Got to do the same on the other side. So a bit of manipulation to get everything in the right place. Actually, let's turn it around a bit so I can see what is happening. There we go. Right. So yeah, that's got to go back a little bit to lift up just a touch. And that I can feel going into that hole and tightening up. Cool. Let's just drop down a bit. I think that was just everything falling into place. So that's that. Now it says to use a screw. I've done that. A mirror step forward, done that. Undo the screw below. Right. Have we got to do that on the same on the other side? If so, I'll do this side. No, basically taking off 1/2 of the wall so we can put in the cockpit. Right, okay, let's do the side that they're saying to do. Come back around here like that. Now it's saying to take off this panel here, so we undo the screw underneath the one we've just put in like that. I'll put that out of the way, and the one on the other end. Cool. Don't lose the screw. Right, then it says to pick up the cockpit and the 2 extension wires, routing the 2 extension wires through the forward frame towards the nose. So these are going that way. Needs to be a little bit longer. Just pull that through gently. Sure, that's far enough, and it doesn't really show how far out they come. So that's that. So that's going through the forward bit, just over the side. Okay, that'll do. And this is going in there like that. And so the R2 cut fits where R2 is going to sit. Keep the extension wires on the left so you can fit the cockpit all the way down to the base without trapping the wires underneath. Right, I need to make sure they're on the outside all the steps of the way. Let's grab them out over there. That one is going to be underneath, so that needs to go over there. Grab them from there. That's that. Feels like they're free, except for that one just about there. There we go. So the only wire underneath there now is the one for the lighting, which is all connected up in there anyway. So that's going down there. They're coming out there to there. Fine, that's all good so far. Without trapping the wires underneath, replace the frame you removed, making sure the extension wires stay between it and the cockpit. Yes, they're there. They're not going anywhere. That's fine. Although that one, say, isn't feeling very long. Can I pull it out a little bit more? I think I can. Just a touch. Let's get them tucked away around the front. Okay. Then that's going in there again. Like that. With the 2 screws going back in place. I like it. I like it a lot. It's looking like an X-Wing now. It really is. There we go. It's going to be good to get the last few sort of panel pieces fitted to all of this. It's going to be fun. Right, that's that back in there. Replace the screw. Side could now look like that. It does indeed. Right, keeping 11 8 screws and the screwdriver to hand. Hold the cockpit in place in the framework and stand the model up on the end so you can gain access to the underside. 4 screws to secure the cockpit in at these 4 points. Okay, I can do that. But I'm going to need to see what's happening next. Right, other bits that are going to happen. Right, first of all, let's get that bit done. So, 08 screws, 11 of them apparently. I don't know how many we've got in this box, but in this packet that they gave us this time. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They gave us 12, so there's one spare I shall put over to one side. I need 4 immediately, and the others I'll put just out of camera, out of the way, down there. Right, okay, so there's 4 of these to go in under here. This is the tricky bit with filming and shooting and everything. Yes, actually, I'm going to adjust to my new wider camera angle and come back and show you what's been going on. Okay, hello, welcome to the new angle where you can now see it standing up in all its glory. I have the 4 screws ready to go in. Now the 4 holes that I shall be using are there, 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 and there. So let's just hold the front top piece on while we get one of them in, at least a little bit. I can feel that now locating and tightening. That's okay. Not tightening it fully, obviously, because that's not the way you do things around here. Go for that one down the bottom there. That doesn't feel right. Is that the right screw hole? It is. That's the right screw hole. Ah, yeah, I can feel that biting there a little bit. Cool. Good. Let's do the next one over here. That one obviously didn't go in very well. I felt like it was tightening, but obviously it wasn't. That one definitely is. Let's go for the top again, shall we? I can see the hole even. That one I was happier with than all the others. Making sure these wires are not where they need to, not where they shouldn't be. They are where they need to be. That's what I meant. That is in there. I thought that was in there before, but you know. And the last one over here. I am, of course, doing all this left-handed, so that's some of the problem. Let's see if we can't. Okay, let me turn that around a little bit. There you go. Now I can see what I'm doing. Turn that down. Bearing in mind, this is, of course, going into plastic, so being wary of over-tightening and causing problems. Feels good. And the last one is always nice. There we go. Right, so we've still got the 2 switches coming out the bottom here, and the wires going up to the top there to go to the nose cone. So that's that. Right, we're going to need to use the rest of the screws now, but obviously we need an extra bit that I've not got to hand. We're going to be fitting the targeting computer from stage 36. I shall grab that and be right back. Okay, so I have the targeting computer here, which is going in round the front in the cockpit, like what it did before, except now it's going to be screwed in place. With 4 screws, it tells me exactly where to put them. There's 2, 3, and 4, so I shall get the 4 screws. I'll hold that in place while I put the first one in. That feels all right. It's just, yeah, it feels like it's locked in place, so that should be good. That one. I only put in a couple of turns on these, so it doesn't really matter which order you put them in. And then that one, last one at the top. Cool, and you can tighten that one down. I can feel it the other side with my fingers there, so I can feel it actually moving and locking down into place. The whole thing just shifted a little bit as that screw went in. There we go, and the other side should be just as good. Yep, and that one down there. Nice. Right, next up we have to use the Torpedo Bay Housing. Is going in there, and there are just 3 screws to hold that in place, going through the 3 screws down the bottom there. And that's the final 3 of this bit. So I'm going to put the middle one in there. I don't know what the rest of this is. I assume it's going to be empty. I don't know. I'm not sure where the torpedo things that we've just built up are going to go. They don't look like they're going to fit into this, or at least not in the orientation I expected. So yeah, it's a little bit intriguing. But if we all understood exactly how it was going to go together, then, you know, it wouldn't be any fun, would it? I'm not an X-Wing engineer. I don't know exactly how these things are meant to fit together. I've never built the real one, so the model is as close as I'm going to get. There we have that, and that. Right, that's it. That says this completes the fuselage assembly for this stage. Handle it carefully until you add extra bracing in the next stages. I shall indeed. I'll not be waving it around and putting it in different orientations for you. Hopefully you're enjoying the build. Let me know what you think of the new camera angle. I'll be using it on occasion when there's bigger things to happen. I can have it at slightly different angles and things as well. So thank you all for watching. I shall see you soon. Stay safe. Bye bye for now. Oh, can't go yet. I haven't shown you the back picture. Look, there we go. That's the whatever it is we were talking about earlier. We were talking about Imperial shuttles. It's probably Thingy's ship. What was the name of the guy that we're talking about? Ben Rao, there he is. That's his Mandalorian Fang fighter. So that's the picture on the back this week. So now I'm really going. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.